What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I am Love Coach Scott Thomas, and welcome to the Saturday night edition of The Awakening World. We have got a really fun show for you tonight. You know, there's so many resources that are available to us now to create this awakening world. And yeah, there's a lot of scary stuff going on in the world, especially what the mainstream media is showing us. There are also amazing resources, people, events, conferences, and festivals, ways for us to really stay grounded while raising our consciousness. I'm going to briefly show you who's going to be on the show tonight, starting with my co-host. Alan Steinfeld is back. He's down in San Diego right now attending the Greg Braden Bruce Lipton event. So got Alan with us.
It is a great time for bringing our community together because this is what the world needs, us with the higher consciousness, or attempted to be, spreading our love out to the world. This is why I'm happy you're doing the show, Scott. Scott, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to have you with us. And Viviane Chauvet is with us tonight. So we're going to hear from her in a moment. We're really excited about that. And we have a new friend with us, Sarina Love, is going to bless us with some music, some poetry, a little bit of her very unique, wonderful magic. It turns out she's a longtime friend of Omashar. It's amazing how we're all a big family. Caroline Corey is with us tonight. She's, of course, like the preeminent filmmaker of amazing stuff. And Alan Steinfeld has just morphed into Suzanne Ross. That's the kind of magic going on in our world today. Welcome, Suzanne. She, of course, runs the Sedona Ascension retreat, which is, I'm going to be there, and it's one of our favorite annual events. We're going to learn all about that. So it's going to be a wonderful show. And as always, we're going to start with our beloved Omashar to get us off to a rousing start with a musical number. And remember to move and groove to the music, everybody.
The awakening world is rising through our hearts. through our lives as we take the next steps together, walking tall, no disguise. Here we are again, loving all we see, lift each other up, let each other be, freeing all the past, freeing you and me, loving all that's gone, loving what's to be. The awakening world is rising through our hearts, through our lives, as we take the next steps together, walking tall, no disguise. Nothing left to say, nothing left to do. Let your spirit shine, let your soul on through. Time is what we have, time to think anew. Let inspiration flow, let inspiration throw.
Let's all send lots of love and appreciation to Omashar, our beloved brother.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And as Scotty Satori pointed out in the chat box, Omashar has got some really good music available now on his YouTube channel. He is now releasing like a song every few days. And so a reminder that you can get wonderful music from Omashar, a lot of the songs that you hear on The Awakening World, by going to YouTube and just put in Omashar music, Omashar music. And Hypnotized, that's one of our favorite songs. So Omashar, tell us a little bit about your YouTube venture and what you're doing with that.
Well, my YouTube venture is like I'm sitting on 2 albums of songs, and I had this vision of this world famous producer coming and polishing my songs up, because I'm a jack of all trades and I do all my own recording and I can do it pretty well. However, when you get a world class producer, it polishes to the nth degree. And so I've been sitting on these songs, and people have been saying, why don't you put them out? And I said, well, I don't want to. I want them to be really, really super duper. Then I realized that I'm a videographer as well. Why not just make videos and put them out? And maybe sometime down the road, well, not maybe, definitely, someone will come along and we'll re-record them. However, I'm having a lot of fun getting all these images together and putting them out in videos. And I have a couple of covers of videos on my Omashar Music YouTube channel that were created by an AI generator. not the videos themselves, but just a still image. And so it's really interesting what happens. I went to the AI generator and I said, I want Stonehenge, and I put in a photo of me playing a flute, and it brought up this amazing image. And also I wanted to one of me with a keyboard and the tour at Glastonbury, and it brought up this another amazing image. So I thought, well, that's pretty cool. And so I used them as opening, as attraction covers for my videos. But the music in the videos are all the ones, yeah, the ones on the top left there.
Yep.
Were created by AI, and that's just the cover to attract people in. And once you're in, you come into my studio and you see what I've created as a video. So yeah, anyway, that's the beginning of the first one. Stop.
Don't worry. Well, thank you, Omashar. It's great to know that we can grab you now on YouTube.
I know, and I'm excited because I have a project, and I'm really, really happy to get my my creativity and my heart into that. Thank you.
And some of the comments coming in. Sarina Love writes, beautiful, Omashar. Scotty Satori is getting them out there. That's the message. Tiara says they are wonderful. Oma Star, and so needed right now. Susan Bloomquist says these videos are very effective. And so Sarina Love is people are praising you. There's a lot of comments. I can't even read them all. So do you want to take a moment? I just learned that our beloved Dia Therese is coming to us from a hospital bed.
Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm going to put the spotlight on you for a moment, Dia. Are you okay? You're smiling? Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, sending love to Dia. She's on the spotlight. Maximum grace to Dia.
Thank you.
And whatever you're going through, pop it in the chat box so our community can know what's going on. But let's just send lots and lots of love.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to my co-host, Ellen Steinfeld, who's going to introduce our first guest. I'll put her up. There is Viviane Chauvet. I'm so grateful. Once I knew that I wanted to do a show really focusing on resources available, let's face it, we need help from everybody, including our galactic brothers and sisters. And she's an amazing spokesperson as a member of the galactic family. And to give her a little bit extra introduction, here's Alan.
Well, she happens to be my favorite Arcturian because they're coming to our planet, and Viviane is an ambassador. She's an emissary from these higher realms, and she lives her life that way. She was at a meeting. I love to tell the story. We were at a meeting, and the discussion got a little intense about what to do, where to go. And you walked out of the meeting. She says, I can't be around this. I mean, even because we were not in harmony, and you gave us a great lesson there. And I think that's why you're on the planet. So thank you, Viviane, for everything you do and all the peace and kindness you bring to the planet. So I want to hear what you have to say today, because you're going to be at some of these events coming up, bringing that level of awareness to people that will be traveling to these events we're promoting here tonight. So thanks, Viviane, for being here.
Alan, my dear friend, always a pleasure. Thank you for this beautiful, human, heartfelt introduction. The rest of the bio everybody can read on the website. I love the way you brought the depth of the essence of who I am. And you are correct. I am a direct representative of the Arcturian delegations. Arcturians are known as one of the most enlightened, very, very ancient intergalactic group. And we originate from the Bootes constellation, which is just about 36,000 light years from your Earth quadrant or the solar system. So you're looking at the energies of, this year, 2025, it's more than just another year when we make resolution or we hope for something more. This is a very profound year of change that we call the Cosmic Gateway. The Cosmic Gateway is the portal or the doorway of a lot of crescendo of energy moving into the higher cosmic timeline. The good news is that humanity, human beings, and all species on the planet, including Gaia herself as a conscious celestial being, You've been given a golden opportunity to truly move beyond the threshold of limitation, manipulation, oppression, dualistic energy, polarization for generations. So the Cosmic Gateway of 2025 lead the way to a major, major breakthrough. And this has been the accumulation point on the planet for many years, and especially the last 4 or 5 years, and this huge contraction that Gaia went through, preparing almost like the contraction of being pregnant with a new life. And now 2025 leading into 2026, it is really the birthing process, and a new child is coming to the world. And what does it mean as a symbology is that it's really about the birthing of the new earth. So Gaia is moving out or shedding the layer of herself that has been held back in the third dimensional frequencies or the third density. So she's moving out of that density, energies, polarizations. She's shifting out of this, and we're going to feel more and more great movement and a lot of changes. Things may shake your foundation, your belief systems, what you've been holding on to at security, safety, and none of this really matters anymore because we're moving into higher structures. The good news also is you're getting a lot of assistance. I have received a clear vision when I went out of the body at the very beginning of this year, and I saw hundreds of new interstellar groups coming through, and they were representative emissaries from everywhere in the multiverse, and all eyes on Gaia, all eyes are on you. And the goal is to finally reconnect, recommune, coming back again among the intergalactic communities. This is something that the Galactic Alliances, we have been waiting for a very long time. We've been waiting and watching for generations, the evolution, the global consciousness evolution of human beings as a species. And finally, you're reaching that point. So there's a lot of excitement. There can be a bit of uncertainty. Why? Because you're really moving into a new territory. You're really literally moving into new charts or uncharted charts. Gaia is moving into new dimensional space. So we talk about disclosure, making contact, whether it's communications, coming together as a community, healing, all of it. All of these terminology are shifting because the linguistic field of Gaia is moving. For example, one of the things that we're seeing is healing the throat chakra for communications, opening your internal intuitive centers. And there's an aspect like the organic science of contact that's going to come more and more predominant. And what it means is that you're allowing yourself to recognize yourself first as a higher evolved consciousness, and you start to shed these 3D identities that we sometimes are very fond of. We can see the potential in you, so we're asking you to see the potential in yourself. There's going to be a lot more direct help, much more direct communication available. It's completely up to you. It is up to you to raise your frequency, your vibration, do your diligence, do your research, really ask different questions what you're feeling, seeing, what you've been told by the media or the mainstream, or overall, really tune in more to listen, because this organic science of contact, it's really about recognizing already what is within you. It's about understanding the impact that you have, not only in your ecosystem on Gaia and with each other, but also with the intergalactic communities. So that's something that we need to bring in. It's about creating and maintaining more diplomatic relationship, understanding how the multiverse really functions, how the other species or the group consciousness are perceiving themselves, what their protocols are, what your protocol is, and being able to feel that we're interweaving a multitude of new frequencies that are returning on Gaia. So for example, the Andromedan, we're going to start implementing new structure, like the financial structure is going to start to get outdated, the medical field, even on a spiritual level, you're going to rediscover new ways of what it means to be in that state of contemplation and in oneness. What does it really mean to be a co-creator, a co-manifester of realities? What does it mean to be able to transcend linear time construct, the third dimensional matrix reality, this false linear time construct, what all of this will mean for you and how you can really start to step up in your light and embrace higher versions of yourself. I know that right now there's a big planetary alignment. There's at least 6 planets in alignment with Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. No, I am no astrologer. I'm an intergalactic being and an ambassador. But what we can tell you is that if you tune in to the consciousness of these celestial beings known as planets, they already showing you the map of how things dimensionally are shifting. If you look at Venus, Venus is a beacon of fraternity and unity. It's a beacon of embodying the divine love more than a spiritual concept. It's understanding the profound impact of it. Mars, it's about expanding ourselves, opening your crystalline core of empowerment to feel your willpower without getting out of balance or out of alignment with false authority and overly projecting insecurity. And there's a balance already between these two celestial beings. If you look at Jupiter, Jupiter is really expanding into a new realm. It's expanding, exploring, to feel, to dare, to really go deeper, to bring this universal joy that Jupiter wants us to expand into and rediscovering new realms. Saturn, transcendence of limitation, physical reality, transcending mental construct, limiting belief system about yourself as a species on the planet, being able to heal yourself from karmic loop, being able to learn from the great teacher that you are within yourself to your higher self, the great master teachers available to you in the celestial realm and even the ultra celestial realm, plus with the intergalactic enlightened ones, and being able to transcend form, structure, and being able to move into a new direction. And if you look at the connection between Uranus and Neptune, there are two opposites that speak of what we are shifting now. Look at all the sudden changes going on. Now, California, your state's going to be changed forever. Places in the world like Tibet, they're going through major changes right now throughout Europe. There's sudden changes, there's a breakthrough, there's opposition moving with each other. There could be maybe opposition of perspective, energy, even within the spiritual community and the UFO community. It's really moving beyond the norms, what we have accepted as natural and normal and abiding by. While Neptune is the subconscious realm, we're going deeper into our cosmic galactic self. It's about re-embracing and relearning the sacred art of what a human being is about. It's about redesigning ourselves. The new blueprint is coming through for all of you and for your own personal soul synchronicity and your soul purpose, but at the same time, collectively, to see the changes even through, disaster and absolutely horrendous situation. Again, what's happening in California, you can tell that at the depth of the subconscious collective consciousness, there's something rising, something wants to emerge from the ashes like the phoenix, or the symbology of the phoenix. So Neptune brings deep spiritual enlightenment, and we are dissolving boundaries. So as an intergalactic being in a hybrid human form, yes, what I'm here to help you dissolve these boundaries. Sometimes I will shake the tree and introduce aspects that may shock others or make them feel uncomfortable. But really, it's about elevating consciousness, helping to bring the soul planetary alignment. We are moving into these higher timeline, this cosmic timeline, and that's the re-ascension. You're not ascending, you are re-ascending. It is you're returning into a higher form. You're remembering who you are. So allow yourself to be challenged. Allow yourself to be receptive, fluid, like the Pleiadian would say. Allow yourself to bring new structure, like the Andromedan are coming through. Allow us to show you, remind you to wisdom, even when we feel that the direction you're taking may be misaligned, but maybe that's the lessons you need to learn. We're here as ancient, very ancient cosmic beings, teachers, friends, and my presence on the planet alone, Gaia, very aware of it, I know that I am shifting the very fabric of this reality. So I just wanted to bring this energy. You can feel it already, allowing your body, your mind, your spirit, your heart to really bring that energy, which leads to something globally that we're going to be offering. This is really good news. So sadly, since we are unable to travel to LA this year, and I will not be able to be at the Conscious Life Expo as planned, given the circumstances and other obligations that my Arcturian Council and the alliances have asked me to do, we're going to, in lieu, offering a completely free Arcturian global group healing on Saturday, February 8th at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is 11 a.m. Mountain and 1 p.m. Eastern. That's my website. Thank you so much, Scott. And so even though we're not be able to physically be there, because I have to be very careful with my hybrid physical form, and I have very limitation, whether it's respiratory and other kind, this is the event. We're still offering support for the community. We're still going to be there with you. So join us online if you're unable to travel. It's a completely free event with the Arcturian, their mastery, the master crystal generators, in support of California, in support of the different places around the world, even here in this beautiful country. Really, it's about coming together as a global planetary community and being able to bring in the next level of the blueprint. We're going to be doing amazing deep healing with the Arcturian organic technology and their mastery and the frequencies. It is for free. Everybody can join. The replay will be available. This is the page. So even though we're unable to be physically on site this year at the the Conscious Life Expo in LA, we're going to offer something else. And it is our galactic way to supporting you ongoing. We are very, very dedicated to uplifting the planet and all of you. And this is going to be absolutely amazing. So join us on Saturday, February 8th. And that's going to be on Zoom webinar. So everything will be there. And there's no limit. Everybody can join. Of course, the good news is I'm going to be physically attending and speaking at Suzanne Ross Sedona Ascension retreats in March. I am quite excited to be back again this year. Thank you, Suzanne. And to celebrate the 10th anniversary, which I'm going to be, of course, offering a workshop and an outdoor journey in the positive vortex. My journey is sold out. I'm very blessed that it's been in demand. The good news is that my workshop is still available. You can buy tickets. I'm going to be on site to communicate with people, to be there, offering absolutely presence, and of course, supporting the Sedona Ascension retreat with other amazing speakers like Alan and Neil, who I love deeply, and of course, other amazing people there. So I'm going to be there in Sedona, supporting Suzanne and the retreat Ascension, the Ascension retreats, and offering boots on the ground presence. But for the LA situation, we feel that we're going to help in other ways, not just physically being there, but pretty much being globally present in our holographic presence, offering our expertise and being able to share with all of you. And we feel that it was the best way for us to support what's happening right now. And going to be beyond that, we're going to bring such a new level of blueprint and ascension. So it's going to be amazing. And again, for those of you who may not be able to travel to LA or to attend physically, we have something to supporting you and join us online. So there's always ways to be of service. There's always way to be in the best alignment, to tune in to what people really needs and how we can supporting you, elevating and really becoming the true master, the co-manifester of new realities and this higher cosmic timeline. We are in a convergence where the energy are naturally shifting. So please trust yourself more than ever. Be very clear in your core. Stay centered. Feel your crystalline core of empowerment, being able to be in your heart and being able to trust the direction you've been giving, not by influence by the media or others, but really to the truth of your light. And there's so many ways that we can support each other. And you will see that your intergalactic star sisters and brothers are really eager to be hands-on and to communicate directly with you, not your technology, not how many modalities you've learned or how big your Facebook group is. It's really non-existent to them. We're here to communicate with you. This is why I've stayed on the planet for so long, because I am a direct bridge. I communicate and we teach and educate so many intergalactic species about the human race, and I am here to communicate their message to you so we can finally return with each other. Now the question is, are you truly ready to embrace and answer the call? And that's just the beginning of 2025.
Viviane, you've done an amazing job. You came right in on time, and I'm going to break my own rule because I told everybody, okay, keep to your time limit, because there are some really important questions people are asking, and it is precious to have you with us. I mean, here we have opportunity to get a very big overview from a very wise being. So I am going to read some of the questions from our audience. This first one is from Dr. Laura. She asks, Viviane, when we look up to the skies, how can we differentiate between the real unidentified flying objects, the ones that are really extraterrestrial in nature, and the United States secret spacecraft? Laura writes, I see a lot of craft every clear night, but how do I tell the difference between the two? Thank you for your answer.
A absolutely brilliant question. And thank you, Scott, for shifting the rule a little bit. And I promise we'll be succinct and remind me of the time because I respect everyone on this amazing show right now. So great question. How do you make the distinction between an organic ship that comes from an interstellar group versus a terrestrial craft, whether it's military, whether it's different sources, whether it's a satellite, whether it's, you know, the other form of body that we see in the sky? Well, one thing is it's about the vibrational signature. I'll tell you that if you really see the presence of one of our craft, we have a very unique vibrational signature that is impossible to mistaken for any other groups. Same goes for the Andromedan, the Pleiadian. Whether you see a light being in the form of a light ship, it can be an orb, it can be a sphere, it can be the presence of a being just simply sharing the light body consciousness with you, or it can be through the rays of the light of the sun. You can see some of the solar council members projecting their consciousness to these rays, and I have seen beings personally through these rays. So when you communicate and you look up in the sky, bring yourself in complete alignment, take deep breath in your heart, ground yourself with Gaia, and ask, when you see a craft or a moving object or even a very shiny celestial body, communicate, reveal yourself to me. Are you from the intergalactic groups? Are you a celestial being? Reveal yourself to me. Feel the connection. Remember, it's a higher consciousness connecting with another. Well, you are the higher consciousness, and the other higher consciousness is the being who wishes to communicate with you. If it's one of the alliances or other group consciousness, whether it's a Syrian being or simply a consciousness connecting with you, you're going to feel it. It's going to be very palpable, and it's going to be also very respectful, and also inviting you to connect and deepening what that connection will mean for you. When you feel like you see this object and you ask the protocol, but it feels a bit more hollow. There's a lack of presence, there's a lack of energy, there's a lack of synergy. Most likely they're either a satellite or a craft of different nature, and you're just simply in different resonance field. You're no longer in the same resonance field. I see them a lot too. I also see interdimensional being appearing. in front of me or next to me. Like when we were in Uluru back in September, a group of us went in the middle of the road, literally in the middle of the road at night, and it was pitch black. The sky was phenomenal, and I was communicating with Venus and her fifth dimensional presence, and I was communicating with Kraft. And then all of blue, I see those two presents next to me, and it's two interdimensional beings that just temporarily made a frequency known to me. So we were coexisting in the same field. I acknowledged them, they acknowledged me. And why did they come? Because they were curious why we are so intrigued by the sky. They were wanting to know, why are you looking? Why are you interested? What is your purpose to communicate? And so I told them as a nocturne, I said, well, we are communicating to create a bridge, and we're here to serve also the planet. And they were satisfied and they left. They never returned. But it's really about feel it, align. There's a consciousness behind a crowd. There's an intelligence that will reply to you in ways that is feel comfortable, uplifting, inviting, and never, never to induce fear or to oppress you or to ask something of you that feels out of alignment. And that's part when you can feel the difference of who or what you're looking at. So again, it's practicing with certainty and being very grounded and clear about your intention as well. I hope that guides you in that direction.
Thank you. Here's a question from Stuart on Facebook. And a big hello to all of our friends watching on Facebook and YouTube. He says he is referencing, he wrote a long one, which condensed down. At the beginning of your presentation, you talked about how you have all been waiting for humanity to wake up to get to a certain level of consciousness. And the question is, given the current politics and the new administration, is this a step forward in our consciousness, or is it a step backward in the human race? Because to many, it appears to be a step backward.
And it's a great perspective. It really depends on what projected reality you're in, what is the way you perceive that. We know that every human being on the planet or every soul on the planet play a role. That means you play a role, meaning those who've been engaged in political parties, whether it's A or B, yellow or orange, they all play a role at certain point in time. And what we feel is that there's a certain sequential energy that is taking place. So we're going to invite everyone to step outside of the political arena or the sandbox and to really understand, to feel like if these energy now are coming back at a certain parallel with this new cosmic gateway, can it be a potential that at the soul level, part of their purposes may to bring something else that we may need as a stepping stone into allowing all of us to evolve to a way that you need the most, not only as a species, but also individually in your collective consciousness, your communities, and so forth. What we say is, let's be open, receptive, without judging, without already condemning. To condemn those peoples, obviously, I never met these people in person, so it's more difficult to judge the level of their actions, like we may have the previous administration. But it really is, we'll have to look where humanity is coming out from, and there's this huge awakening globally. I think it's time to heal the gaps that has been put in place in division, reality. No more division, please. No more dualistic, no more separation. And I see that even with teachers in the spiritual community, or even those who've been there for a long time, start to feel like a little bit of a pull. If you don't think like us, we don't like you anymore. We're no longer in high school, everyone. And believe me, I went through that with you, so I know what it feels like. It is a time of reunification. So let's reunite one planet. Gaia is unique. You are a steward, a guardian. This is what we need to do. Let's step up together. Let's rise. That's our loving invitation.
Thank you. That is such an incredibly important message. Last question, although there are several more, but from Diara, she writes, thank you, Viviane. I have been guided to elevate discernment in the physical realm to protect my elevated energetic state. So I'm not driving at times. It's having to make choices for travel. Are there any thoughts or other information around this?
I am with you, and this is part of why I'm unable to travel to LA, because I have to reconcile a little bit of sensitivity on my physical being as being a hybrid, and the capacity to travel and still being offered the best of who I am and be of service. When I feel that some of my capacity being diminished, whether it's environmental disasters, situational, whether it's also potentially how my lung may be affected or other component of myself be affected, I need to reassess to see how can I effectively still be the best of who I am in the integrity of who I am and offering the best to the community without compromising myself. So that ties up what I'm hearing from you. If you feel that your physical template or your physical form may be a little bit out of alignment with your higher vibrational state, what I would do, and this is what I do personally, so between us only, right? Wink, wink, is I allow the frequency of who I am and I invoke my I am presence to reattune my physical body and to feel that I am reattuning right now my soul body connection. And I ask, as a unity consciousness within myself, I honor and listen to my physical body intelligence, my senses, and who I am. And I'm allowing myself to see, show me, reveal to me, am I being of service? Is it serving my highest and greatest good? Is this trip is in alignment? Is there other factor misaligned? If yes, show me an alternative. What can I do? And I really feel for you personally, it's just an intuitive impression that thing is going to strengthen for you. Thing is going to shift. And I feel like you're getting into a new sense of equilibrium. There's something shifting for you, particularly this year in that regards. And I can feel that. But again, it's just my intuitive impression of what I am receiving from the question and your presence tonight. So thank you.
Thank you. So I want to let people know how you can get much more of Viviane. And it's kind of fun. Some of the people that belong to your membership group are with us tonight. George Noble, Scotty Satori. They've been putting messages into the chat box about how much they get out of your group. So here's how you can get more information. Her primary website, it's a beautiful name, infinitehealingfromthestars.com. Infinitehealingfromthestars.com. And there's a lot on this website. It's a very beautiful website. You can learn more about Viviane. And this is extraordinary. Here is a galactic being, you know, as a hybrid in a human body, sharing with us extraordinary wisdom. And she has a membership organization group. If you click memberships, this takes you to the membership page of the Arcturian portal. And there's different ways that you can come in. I encourage everybody to watch the video guide. That's a good introduction. And then there's different ways to come on into her program. There's free content, single tickets to, you know, if you want to check out one of the groups, see what it's like, or you can get a monthly membership. So there's a lot of different ways to play and to come into this amazing world with Viviane. Is there anything you want to make sure that I point out or anything you'd like to add?
Well, I think it's wonderful the way you present everything. We always have free content. We also expanding now into a new project called the Arcturian Online Foundation, which is going to be adding more free content, Q&A, also a lot of most frequently asked questions. We're going to build also around that. And of course, that is our global free event with the Arcturian to really in support, of course, of every family, every being, everyone throughout California and also globally. And I know there's other places that also need support. And we're going to come together during this beautiful event. And it's really a courtesy. It's our way from the intergalactic and I to bring. And this is the Arcturian Council said, we're going to step forward. We're going to do something to really offer our direct support. And this is what this event on Saturday, February 8th will be so beautiful. And one more thing, what I'm really excited about is that I also going to have an upcoming Arcturian TV series that is almost ready to be released. Yes,
Is
it's
this
been
going to be on
produced.
Soul Search? Soul Search TV?
No, it's not with Soul Search. I was approached by another TV productions called Elysium TV Productions with Sarina, and I'm also working in partnership with the Galactic Alliance platform to bring more content. But the TV series is almost ready on Sparks TV, and it's going to be offered to Gaia TV. I hope that Gaia is going to stop being afraid of me and let me in once and for all, and allowing us to bring our wisdom and our presence. And there's no need to fear anymore. There's no more being intimidated. We're past that. We know us. You can feel our presence. And so this Arcturian TV series is unique, never before done. It's very unique. We'll go deep dive into truly who we are. There's a lot of wisdom. It's a 6-part series. And I was told today by the producer that about a week or two from now, we're going to finally have the marketing promotion to release the series.
Fantastic. Well, as we get that information, please let me know so I can, present it to our audience. And I'll write you separately, but maybe we can even broadcast out to my whole audience your February 8th event. Because I have a system where I can just click a button and it goes out to a lot of different places. So let's talk about that, because that'd be wonderful. Let's all send lots of love and appreciation to our favorite guide from the Galactic family. Thank you, Viviane. And I want to say, I imagine it must be challenging being from such a high vibration and coming into the density of the earth. It's a big sacrifice to come into a human body. And so thank you for your daily discipline and your daily devotion to us human species. Thank you.
It is done with love.
Absolutely. She does do it all with love. Alan, is there anything you want to add before we go to Sarina?
Well, there's so much that Viviane brings into the plan. I'm really happy that she's following her heart. I do want to say that the Conscious Life Expo is donating a lot of their proceeds to the people of LA to help out, people who've lost their homes, need food, shelter. So there is a part of what Conscious Life is doing to support the community in LA. And we're all going to be there in LA, bringing in the highest energy to help people who've been traumatized. I mean, it's awful. I mean, losing everything you've ever had. I mean, it's such a trauma that, I think LA needs the support that a lot of us can bring there with Conscious Life Expo. So.
And we'll be talking about that a little bit later on in the show. Viviane, there's so many comments coming into the chat box. I'm only going to read one, but it summarizes. This is from Pam. She writes, "Thank you, Viviane. I am loving the strength and wisdom of your words combined with your gentle humor. I'm so excited to learn more. Thank you for your service to our human race and the planet that we live on." So, and take a look at all the other comments coming in. You are loved and appreciated very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Scott, I was just on a ship with Viviane. We went on a cruise together, but I do tell people I was on a ship with a doctor.
Oh, there you go. Yes, you were on a ship with her. Not one up there, but one down here.
Exactly.
Water.
Exactly.
Hey, well,
who's up
got
next?
a new friend, Alan. I'm really excited. She's someone I met a long time ago. Turns out she also knew Omashar quite a while ago. This is Sarina Love, and I'm going to read a little bit about her while we look at her and her beautiful background. And she's going to provide some wonderful offerings for us. Sarina is a renowned composer, performer, author, artist, speaker, workshop leader, and psychic. She's toured our world for over 25 years, providing healing events and emanating what she calls celestial mystical opera. We're going to get to experience a little bit of that tonight. She gives her audience the experience of a deep relaxation, profound nourishment of the soul, activating our genius, which connects us to our eternal self. She is a sensitive visionary, and she also enjoys co-creating practical solutions to our everyday problems. She's presented at the White House, the United Nations, St. John the Divine Cathedral, the Edgar Cayce Center, Esalen, and many, many other places. She's an author of several books. We're going to learn all about that. She's got CDs. She's worked with Deepak Chopra, and she's the host of the Thriving Wisdom podcast. So welcome to the Awakening World, Sarina. It's great to have you with us. And tell us a little bit more about your journey. Have you always been awake, or do you have an awakening experience?
Oh my goodness, have I always been awake? Well, that's life is an undulation. It's, there's peaks and valleys, and it's never the same. So I can say that ever since I can remember, my first memories as a child, certainly observing humanity, and really observed a lot of the suffering and just wanting to help bring love to where I clearly saw that was the problem, was the lack of love. It's very simple problem, but we seem to make it complicated. And that's the fascinating dance of being human, is the dance of simplicity and complicatedness. And it is both simple and complicated to be human, to be duality, to be yes and no, up and down, in form that creates substance. We have to have duality to have form, to have consciousness, because even our divine self is in unity. So there's no duality there. So really there's no self-awareness, because you can only have self-awareness when there's duality, right? So when you're in unity and you're in that samadhi state, or if you want to use Sanskrit, we really lose awareness. Becomes, there's really beyond words, we can talk about it all day and night, but really it's just the profoundness of unity, and yet it's always with us, right? It's always that presence, the unity consciousness is who we are. And so unity is dancing in form, and dancing in forgetfulness, and dancing in the only thing unity doesn't know is, I talk about it in my book, it is to forget what is true. So creates this infinite diversity and this fantastic, fabulous suffering, fantastic joy that can only happen through this wild separation from and forgetting. And then we get to have this journey to remember what already is.
Yeah, I love the term, the illusion of separation. And it is true. They say, a lot of the spiritual teachers I respect talk about how the human experience is both extraordinarily wonderful and horrific because of the illusion of separation. And if you think about our greatest moments in life, they're always moments of connection. And if you think about the most tragic, horrible moments in life, they're moments of separation. We are running a little bit late, so we're gonna give you more time a little bit afterwards, but would love to get if you could share a little bit of your music with us right now. I would love that. I'm gonna remove myself so we can put the whole focus on you. We're not going to dance to her music today. We're going to just drop in and give full attention. So to those who normally get up and dance, instead just kick back and take in the vibration of Sarina Love.
Yes. Just allow yourself to take a deep breath. A deep breath in. And a deep exhale. Just enjoying the sensation of your body and the breath within. You can close your eyes, open your eyes, and watch either one. Ooh, and just ride the waves of your innermost being.
I'm going to go to gallery view for a moment for those who have our cameras on, just to send some love and appreciation. Sarina is going to be back. Is going to be back on the show a little later on in the show, and I want to take you to where you can learn more about her. She was previously known as Sarah West Love, and her website is her name, SarahLinaLove.com, SarahLinaLove.com, SarahLinaLove.com. And when we come back, when she's on the second time, we'll kind of show some of the aspects of it. But I want to just really thank you so much. It's wonderful to have you with us. And when I see the pictures now of you with the dark hair, now I'm recognizing. Oh, I recognize. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, here's to our silver hair, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much. All right. I'm actually working on a little bit of a schedule change. So I'm going to bring my co-host Alan up.
Yes. I just wrote to Carolyn and see what her schedule was. So we could see that. I mean, yes, we just want to talk about the Sedona Ascension retreat with Suzanne. And we want to show this Bashar video where he's talking about some of what he's going to be doing. Let me bring Suzanne in here. So there's Suzanne. So I know, what was the schedule you had, Carolyn, here? If we could switch that, it'll give us time to, is she here? Can we just see what her schedule looks like?
Well, yeah, let's see if I've written to her. So
How long, you guys?
Well, we have 10 minutes for 8 minutes for Suzanne, and then I could show about 15 minutes of the Bashar video, so that would be about 22 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you, Carolyn. How nice. Okay.
Thank you. All right, well, let's start by talking about the Sedona Ascension retreat. And first of all, I really want to acknowledge Suzanne, because putting together an event like this is such a big operation. It's extraordinary. And I've known you for a few years. We've promoted your retreat, every year. And I'm going to pull up the website and tell us, as we kind of scroll through, as we look at all of the different presenters, tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening in Sedona.
Well, thank you so much, Scott, and I so appreciate being on. This is our 10th anniversary celebration, and I am so excited about that. And really, the theme that came up for me, Scott, was celebrating a new humanity uniting and a new earth arising. Our events are focused on ascension. And, just to reiterate a bit of what Viviane was saying, now more than ever is a time for uniting. And so it's necessary to transcend anything that presents separation or division and really focus on coming together as one humanity, sharing this planet we call home. And so those of us who can bring in that really high vibration of unconditional love for all beings in all of creation, but for all beings on our planet, regardless of their political beliefs, regardless of their religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs, regardless of their culture, we're one family. And so our event is all about celebrating our unity, celebrating humanity as one in love with one another. And during the event, we do global impact meditations that really focus on generating the highest vibration that we can, so that then we can pour our loves into the ley lines of the earth, and we can expand our love out into the cosmos, spreading the love and light far and wide. One of the things I love the most about doing this conference is the guests who come. It's a heart-centered, soul-inspired community really coming together and just to be with your like-minded brothers and sisters. Gathering those souls together is really one of the main things that drives me to do the event. Of course, we have these incredible speakers. I'm really excited about Daryl Anka returning to our event this year, because this year he's actually going to be offering a workshop. And that same day, he's going to be channeling Bashar. And this all takes place on Saturday. And that inspired me, Scott, for the first time ever to offer a one-day pass. And so we just got that posted up on the website. People sometimes have their favorite presenters and they want to come on the day that they're speaking only, or maybe they only want to come for one day. Of course, the one-day pass is less expensive too. So we're excited about being able to offer that. For the first time ever, we have Robert Edward Grant, Adam Apollo, Sarah Breskman, Cosme, Aaron Abke, and Ann Tucker. So, you know, I feel into who I am really aligning with, and that really aligns with the brand of our event, meaning that they're bringing in a really high vibration of love, and at the same time sharing that knowledge and that wisdom that's really going to help us propel forward in our evolutionary journey and to make progress on our spiritual path. Of course, our event, one thing that's unique about it is that we offer journeys into Sedona's sacred vortex sites. And that sort of sets our event apart. There's so many events taking place now that I like to do something that really makes our event unique. And so we send people in shuttle buses out to these vortex sites in Sedona. Breathtaking views of the Red Rocks, immersed in the spiraling vortex. And there, people like Adam Apollo, Suzanne Wilson, Ann Tucker, they guide these journeys, dropping you into meditation, offering teachings, channeling. Of course, Viviane Chauvet's outdoor journey is already sold out, but like she said, her workshop still has space. But there's other outdoor journeys that still have seats available. They are selling out too, as are the workshops. So, you know, make sure to go to SedonaAscensionRetreats.com and reserve your seat as soon as you can so that you get a seat. Yes. And so just to mention a couple of the other people that I'm so excited about coming back. William Henry has been at almost every one of my retreats because I just love him dearly. And it is about ascension. And he is one of the world's leading experts on ascension. Mark Anthony, the psychic lawyer, but he also calls himself a psychic explorer. He gives a phenomenal presentation on stage. Sarah Breskman Cosme is a QHHT practitioner who has been in sessions bringing out people's lifetimes in Atlantis, Lemuria, Egypt, the Mayan temples. And so I can't wait for her presentation. We're going to be having a guest panel on the first night, Friday night, with people coming together like William Henry, Sarah Breskman Cosme, Alan, and Alan Steinfeld, of course, is my co-host, and he has been every year for the past several years for this conference. But during the guest panel, we'll be talking about ascension. We have performances. Christine Hoffman is a beautiful singer, musician, and she's going to be doing our musical entertainment, dropping everybody into sound journeys throughout the event. We also have Native American performers. These are world champion dancers. Munti Sinqua is a world champion hoop dancer, and he brings his sons who do war dances. He plays the flute and sings. So it's not just on stage presentations. We have performances, sound journeys, outdoor journeys, indoor workshops, and of course, a lot of really great vendors as well. So we are inviting everyone to come enjoy the beautiful spiritual Mecca of Sedona, immerse yourself in the vortex, and come together in the heart-centered spiritual community to see these amazing presenters, go on journeys, take workshops. And if you're watching, please feel free to use our 15% off coupon code Ascension Vortex. And somebody might want to put that in the chat room, Ascension Vortex. And that will give you a special 15% discount just for tuning in to the awakening world tonight. Thank you so much, Scott.
Absolutely. And you know, almost all those people are people that have been on our show. Kristen Hoffman is one of my dearest friends. She co-hosts, just like Alan co-hosts every couple months. Kristen co-hosts the show with me every couple of months. So it's going to be a wonderful gathering of the family. And I'm looking forward to being there. Looking forward to seeing all of our friends, seeing you, being with Viviane and all the people that we love, JJ and Desiree. So thank you, Suzanne, for putting this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you. And, you know, Bashar is going to be there too. And he's going to not only be there channeling, Daryl's going to be there giving a workshop as himself. And that's a whole new addition that's just happened. So you could go to that website, Sedona Ascension Retreat website, and sign up for Daryl, because he's just started doing this. After 40 years of channeling, Daryl says, you know, I have enough wisdom now to share what he's learned directly from Bashar in 40 years. And so actually, I have a little clip of Daryl talking about that. Are we ready for that, Scott?
Yeah, let's go ahead and show it, please.
All right, let me just bring it up. And it's just also so nice to co-host with Suzanne. I mean, I also want to say, you know, we have the conscious life, and to sum it up, Daryl is at a point in his life where he...
Alan, hang on. Let me find you. And I do want you, if you can sum it up, but I'm having trouble actually even finding you.
No, I'm here under new reality, right here, Scott. I'm raising my...
Yeah.
Right. So to sum it up, Daryl is saying he's at a point in his life and the planet's at a point where we're ready to go to the next level. And Daryl actually is going to be doing much more of himself. So Suzanne, why don't you talk about the workshop that Daryl is doing?
So Daryl was just talking about the formula, and it's an instruction manual from the future for living your best life. And there's several keys in this formula that allow us to do just that. So I'm very excited that he'll be offering that workshop. You can go to the website to see the description and sign up for that specific workshop. But yes, when they agreed to have Daryl come on and speak his own wisdom and knowledge based on channeling Bashar for 40 years, he's had his own evolutionary advancement. And he's also said during the interview with Alan that if Bashar were to come to the planet as a physical being walking amongst us, at that time, he would tune into his own higher self and then be just channeling his own higher self.
Right. Well, so we really have to get used to the vibration of these other beings in our presence. And just having that exchange with Bashar, I was sitting next to him. I said, wow, I'm feeling a lot of energy. Can you raise it? He goes, no, it'll blow the body out. But as we learn to raise our frequencies and we get to be more acclimated to these beings that are coming here. This is why I think Viviane's here. This is Carolyn Corey's message. There's a lot of people coming forward that are saying it's time we change our vibration and meet them on the level that they exist on. They're not going to come down to our level. Like I always say, when you talk to your dog, you're not barking at them. Not that we're dogs or animals, but we need to go to the level of a higher consciousness, a higher vibration, a higher sense of love, expansion of soul to meet these beings on the playing field they exist on. So that's the overall message. And Daryl is going to do a workshop as himself in Sedona, which is a real treat. He's only done this once before, and he's doing it again in Sedona. So Thank you, Scott, for that. But sorry about the video. There is a whole, I'll put the channel, the actual whole show we did an hour with Daryl, and I'll put that in the link there in the chat. So I appreciate coming on the show again and making contact with you, Scott.
No, thank you. And Suzanne, thank you for what you're doing. Looking forward to seeing you in Sedona in March. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Sending everyone my love. Mwah. Love you. Bye.
Thanks,
And
Scott.
again, it's SedonaAscensionRetreat.com.
It's actually plural. Sedona Ascension Retreats.com.
Retreats. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
You know, it automatically comes up on my computer, so thank you for that clarification.
Thank you.
I'll put a lot of that in the chat. I'll also put a retreat I'm doing in Sedona where we're going to actually go out to the desert and make contact. That's happening the end of April with Hope Fitzgerald. And we're bringing a bunch of people together to call in the ships, the positive, benevolent beings that are waiting for us to make the call. So if you make the call, they'll answer.
Beautiful. Yeah, and we love
Thanks.
Hope Fitzgerald. Hope's been on the show a few times. She's great. All right, thanks, Ellen. Have a good dinner. Say hello to Greg Braden for us.
I will, definitely. Thanks, Scott, for everything.
All right. Well, I'm really, first of all, I'm really appreciating Caroline Corey for adjusting her schedule because she is a very, very busy woman. She's an extraordinary person. I'm a big fan of Caroline's. She has been on the show but not for a while. So for those of you who don't know, she is an award-winning director and producer. She created an amazing documentary called Superhuman, The Invisible Made Visible. I can still remember the scene from one of her movies where kids are playing ping pong blindfolded. And she is capturing all these extraordinary things that we human beings are capable of. She's worked with world-renowned scientists and experts from Harvard, ION, Stanford, and she conducts scientific experiments on the correlation between consciousness, health, and the physical body. She developed a revolutionary frequency-enhanced meditation program, which we're going to learn a little bit about tonight. And it can be delivered through what's called Nikki, Nikki, providing 24/7 clearing of deep-seated traumas from our subconscious mind and cellular memory. So we're going to learn a little bit more about her superhuman meditation programs, about the workshops that she's offering, and just about the amazing breakthroughs that are taking place. Even William Shatner from Star Trek was blown away by the work that you're doing, Caroline. So welcome back to the Awakening World, and thank you again for being patient on your timing tonight.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me. It's awesome to see you again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your own personal journey. How did you get involved in becoming really one of the leaders in expanding consciousness and scientifically studying what we are capable of?
Yeah, so for me, I started at a very young age. I was 5 years old when I had an experience, the first experience. I was just there, and all of a sudden there was this light that shows up in the room. And before I knew it, I realized that I was merged with this light. And, it ended up being a group of beings. And spontaneously, I was communicating. We started communicating. So I realized that, at the age of 5, nobody teaches you telepathy, right? So it was just this spontaneous reaction, so to speak. And I remember very clearly, they said, notice what your brain is doing right now. We are kind of an extension of who you are on this side of the veil. It's almost like I was on this side of the veil in physical form, and then the rest of me was merged with this massive consciousness on the other side. And so when that opening happened, telepathy, basically, communication was effortless, seamless. And I could kind of see where I had come from, what my lineage was, who they were. Just, it's like a spontaneous opening where you merge with everything, your larger consciousness, so to speak. And so that experience was very significant. Of course, although at the age of 5, I didn't think anything of it. I thought, oh, all children have those experiences. It's nothing special. I'm not special. Don't talk about it, And so it was later that I was like, no, wait, what just happened here? I realized, and I remembered so clearly, they mentioned that that opening and that line of communication happens to everybody. Like, everybody has that ability. And I remember they said, remember what your brain is doing right now, and ask for it to happen again if you want this communication to continue. So of course, I'm 5 years old, right? So I was like, okay, I want this. Whatever my brain is doing, I want to do it again, And so basically what they were telling me is they're teaching me intention. Say what you want and focus in a very specific way on what you want. And basically also what was significant was the imprint of that signature, that frequency signature. It's almost like exactly who they were, what they were, which is basically source, without getting into those details, but was kind of imprinted on my consciousness. And it was basically the ability to tap back into that point spontaneously so that you are able to open up to your universal consciousness, so to speak, and download or bring down everything that you need to know, because that aspect of you knows everything about this aspect of you. Why you're here, how you got here, what you're here to do, how many incarnation, who are your spirit guides, and so on and so forth. So that opening got me on this journey. Of course, when I grew up, I went in college, I studied psychology, to make sure nothing was wrong with my brain. I was like, wait, what just happened? Like, maybe I made this up. And after 5 years old, I kept having different kinds of experiences. Like, somebody would walk in the room and I would know their name. I would know what was going to happen to them the next day, what was wrong with their body, stuff like that. And so when I grew up, I was like, okay, I know this is real, but how did it happen? What did my brain do to get there just like that? And so of course, like I said, I studied psychology to make sure I wasn't crazy, my brain wasn't firing the wrong way or something. And of course, sure enough, nothing was wrong, except that what I was talking about had nothing to do with psychology or my brain. It had to do with consciousness. We are consciousness. And the laws that apply to consciousness, the mechanic of consciousness, are not the physical laws. There's different laws. And so I put myself in a very rigorous training, my own training, to figure out what is the difference between this frequency versus that frequency. What is my body doing? What are my brain channels doing when I'm merged with the universe, for example, versus the trees, versus the planet, versus this person, versus this other person? So I kind of like dissected the whole process. Every day I'd be like, okay, where does it register? How does it feel? What's the difference between this meditation versus that meditation? So long story short, after a long period of training, I developed these methodologies for other people to be able to discern where their frequency is, what their frequency is doing, how to switch from this linear human way of thinking to this expanded multidimensional thing that happened to me, when I was 5. So I realized there is a process, there is a mechanism. And as you know, I started working with all these scientists to validate that how it works. So in the movie Superhuman, that was very, very successful, as you know, we did on-camera live experiments to show the connection between your consciousness and the physical world. For example, water. For example, we would change the pH of water. We would change the electrical conductivity of DNA. We would, of course, do telekinesis. We would try to see through blindfold, behind our back, remote, all of these things. I worked with multiple scientists over and over for those who realize that when scientists have very rigorous, way of doing things. It's not like we do it once and then it works and we're like, hey, it's working. No, we have to do it over and over and over and have control groups and all of that stuff. So I was very excited that I was able to bring the data that validates the fact that we are consciousness first. And it's that consciousness that affects, that literally changes our physiology, our physical body, and everything else in between. So that was a long answer, but that's how I started, and that's how I got to where I am, and demonstrating this over and over, creating methodology for healing, creating methodologies for expanding your consciousness, seeing the subtle energy, because I could see the subtle energy since I was 5. Like I could literally see the being. I could discern this being versus that being versus this energy. So there is a process, and that's what I've been teaching for 15 years, and now in my movies.
You're getting a lot of comments, and I'm going to read just one of them and ask some questions.
Yeah.
Cam writes, I love the work of Caroline Corey. All of the films and books that she offers. The best part of her work to me is the use of scientific research to demonstrate the phenomenon she's bringing forward. A Tear in the Sky was beyond amazing, and I learned about it when she was previously a guest on this show. So that's good. Now, one of our regulars who's watching is Diara, and she teaches spiritual diversity and education and has a program called Cosmic Kids Corner. Are any suggestions, having worked with children and helping them to develop, do you have any suggestions for Diara of how to help kids remember their higher consciousness or to access it?
Yeah. So, and thank you for asking. Of course, the training that you had in the film, the blindfold, the psychic abilities, the telepathy, all of these are, it's just exercises, it's just training. But at the end of the day, it's kind of interesting because I'm also writing a book. It's going to be out like very, very soon, like in a couple of weeks, actually, about mental health. And realize that, especially for children, one of the things that's really, really missing is the existential questions. We think, oh, it's too big. Like, you can't talk about God, or, I mean, of course, not in a religious way, but you can't talk about like, who are you? Where did you come from? What planet you're from, or anything like that, because it's like weird. It's not weird, because what's happening as I'm writing this book, you have to research the statistics. Teenagers have the highest rate of suicide, and just look around the school shootings and all these terrible things that happen. And they're all young people, right? I know the children you're teaching are even younger, but these children that are growing up realizing that their schoolmate just killed themselves. Don't you think they're asking the question, like, wait, like, how is that possible? Where is he? And, questioning all of these things. So I think it is so, so, so important to start talking to children like an adult, but of course, not maybe using that vocabulary, but talking about who they are, where they sense they connected to, all of these big existential questions, but of course, frame it in a way that's relatable to them. Maybe use art therapy, maybe use word exercises, of course, the blindfolds and things like that, that allow them to naturally start thinking and feeling beyond just the physical body. I have to say that, of course, it needs to be done in a very organized way, kind of like a methodology, as opposed to just throwing a bunch of stuff at them. So you can start. So anyway, it's a long answer, but basically you can use these exercises, for example, on superhumanfilm.com. There is an online class. I taught children with blindfold. I taught a class on spoon bending, and things like that. You can start with these exercises, but we're also coming up with this curriculum. Start thinking of ways to allow them to tap into who they are, in a very simple way that's non-threatening, but that allows them to go, oh, it's okay if I feel that, I can tap into your energy and know what's going on without freaking out. You know what I mean? So this was a general answer, but hopefully it was helpful.
I would encourage everybody, if you haven't already done it, go to this film. Again, it's amazing, and you can rent it or buy it online. It's easy to do. Just go to superhumanfilm.com.
Yeah.
Superhumanfilm.com. And Tiara, I would encourage you to show this to your kids, where they can watch it and see what's possible, right? What an amazing, experience and introduction for these kids of what's possible.
Yeah. And I'm working on Superhuman 2 right now. And I'm also in Superhuman 2, there's a section where we're introducing not just consciousness stuff, but frequency-based technologies. So one of the technologies that I investigated was this watch, actually, and it's a white label. It's a superhuman watch. It's called Superhuman Watch. And what happened is that these are literally my frequency, basically. The meditations that I teach, for example, how to connect to source in a very specific way, how to quiet to 0 point, how to align your brain channels in a certain way. But I also have, for example, chemistry balance to balance your body and things like that. And for example, cleansing attachments, entities, all kinds of stuff. So these frequencies, as you can see, they're delivered transmitted through light. Do you guys see that?
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's red light. And so what happened is that just like when I'm teaching, for example, a specific meditation or a healing frequency, you are listening to my voice and to the frequency and absorbing it through a recording, right? Through the speakers and through whatever, the computer or your iPhone or what have you. It's the same way, except that this meditation or that frequency is just being delivered through light. Light is a conductor. And it's still like your energy is absorbing that frequency in a very organic way. So this company, the Nikki Technology, they did tests. I sent them one of my meditations, and I said, I'm very interested. People tell me when they listen to my healing meditation, they clear things, they're doing things. Or, can we try it through light? and they tested it, and it scored like 120%. Like people were just like shifting just by wearing the watch. And so we decided to basically, I have a whole series. There's a watch that has a series of 10 of, like I mentioned, all these frequencies. So the reason why I'm saying this is, of course, I think people should really look into this, where you do a meditation in the morning, but what if that same frequency is constantly, being dispelled and like transferred into your being, especially the energetic cleanse, for example, or the alignment, the connecting to source. What if you can be in that space, 24/7, as needed? You can switch it. There's one on abundance and so on and so forth. So because we did the scientific testing, I was very, very excited. And I'm encouraging people to do that as well. That way you sustain whatever the work that we're doing throughout the day. And then over a period of time, your body just knows exactly how to switch to that frequency, if that makes sense.
Wow. Well, I'm going to show people how they can get the watch, because people are asking. So write this down, everybody.
Superhumanwatch.com. This website is superhumanwatch.com.
Okay, great, because it's showing up as We Are Nikki.
Yeah, but if you press superhuman, because it's easier to remember,
Right.
superhumanwatch.com, it will just pop up. Like, that's the page, but just for people to remember, it's just superhumanwatch.com.
Okay,
It
great.
will take you to that page. You want to open it again? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it will take you here. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about how they can actually purchase it.
So yeah, if you could stop here so you can see all of this one program is a series of 10. It has the connecting to source for people who do that meditation. It's nice to just have, it aligns your brain channels very perfectly, plug them into source, and your vibrational, your cellular vibration is raised to 800 hertz and more. So you're in that alignment very quickly, and then you can sustain it. Mind quieting is my 0-point exercise to just, be in that still moment. Higher guidance is to receive the channeled from a higher guidance. Abundance, obviously. Mental clarity. It's very hard to make decisions when we're bombarded with so much confusion and chaos. So mental clarity is a great one to just clear everything out. Love and gratitude if you're struggling, have a fight or whatever. I mean, energetic cleanse, like I said, I couldn't say attachments and entities, I just had to make it kind of simple. Energetic cleanse, but it goes very, very deep. It takes out all kinds of stuff. And then you get the chemistry balance, which I balance the pH, the electrolytes, and the chemistry in the body. I use this a lot because my metabolism is very high. And so I have like dips sometimes. And so I have to like eat or whatever. So this frequency keeps me very balanced physically. If you're struggling with a physical issue, any sort of physical issue or pain helps you with that. And then inner peace, I have this all the time, because when there's so much chaos, it just keeps you in this internal kind of peace. It really works. So just for people to understand, the watch itself, it's the manufacturer. You have to have like the actual hardware. And then you buy the set, the superhuman sets. But then later, like we're adding, for example, one for sleep, which is amazing. Later, you add you get to download additional frequencies because you already have the hardware. But the initial thing, you buy the watch and then you buy the set. And then if you keep scrolling down, yeah, you'll see, for example, I have the mental health program that's coming. It's going to reverse addictions, anxiety, phobias, depression, anger, PTSD. I mean, it's very specific for mental and emotional states. So you'll be able to just basically upload those once you have the watch.
How are
And so you
you?
basically scroll down and then you just you click on buy now, you know.
Right. As you're creating these, how do you create the different vibrations? In other
Yeah.
words, how's
Yeah,
that?
so because I've been teaching for like forever, and like I said earlier, like I put myself through so like Scott, it was insane. Like I would spend hours and hours and hours meditating and focusing exactly what does this frequency really feel like? How is it different than that one? How do I know what my liver, where it's vibrating? How do I know the vibration of my left lung, of my throat, of this, of that? Like super specificity in my methodology. And because of that training that I teach others, by the way, I'm able to create these specific frequencies, of course, through my voice, but it's a very specific signature that is transferred that then is converted into light that you absorb. But so a few people have bought it already because it just came out like a month ago. So, but some of my main students who sign up for newsletters and stuff, got the information. And like just now, if one of them just told me that she had all kinds of allergies. And she went to the kinesiologist and was doing muscle testing. And he didn't know that she had the watch on. And she was very, very, very strong. And the guy was like, what just happened? Well, like you had all these allergies and now you have none or something like that. And then she showed him the watch. So because she had the chemistry balance one. So just to tell you that, I mean, this stuff is real. This stuff is, well, of course you have to try it for yourself. I'm just saying, but that's how I create them because I want to say if that's okay with that sound. I mean, that's kind of my specialty. The discerning of the frequency, the subtle energy and frequency, just because I've been so specific and have on these things since I was a very, very young.
There's some questions I want to ask you. Heidi's asking, would the superhuman watch be good for a troubled teenager?
Yes, because it's going to, I think maybe right now, the mind quieting, people who have ADHD, children who have ADHD, the mind quieting, there's one for sleep, for chemistry as well, because don't forget a lot of young children as well have chemical issues, like, the whole not being able to focus or what have you. Sometimes it's chemistry, they're being fed the wrong stuff. So you have to explore and experiment and do some muscle testing, but it works for everybody. And that's what I like about this. It's a subtle kind of way of getting the energy, because a child is not going to sit and do a guided meditation or read it. You know what I mean? So definitely works.
Next question is this Susie wants to know, is this technology similar to a Rife machine?
No. First of all, Rife sets a frequency that are kind of standard, so to speak. Like, you use this frequency to do this or that. These are my frequencies. Like, so how should I say this? It's very like, for those who have done a guided meditation with me, what happens is that let's say we're working on let's say digestive issues, let's say. So I'm guiding you to take you back to the root cause that created your digestive issue individually, the way you created it, and taking out this root cause so that it doesn't happen again. Not only relieves the symptoms, but not. So even as a group, I don't know who's going to be in my group. I don't know, let's say half the people have some sort of digestive issue, but every person has a digestive issue for a different reason. One is loneliness, one is the father died, whatever. And so the way I create the formula is based on reprogramming frequencies. I mean, for those who studied with me, the Healers Program, it's it's pretty sophisticated and complicated. It's like a whole, technique of figuring out what is the root cause of the current issue by deprogramming, reprogramming. It's that sort of specificity. So the frequencies that you're getting here, the Rife is just like, do this for that, which I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying the difference. This is going to read the energy that you're needing and undo it according to the way you created it. That's the specificity. That this you will find nowhere. You know what I mean? Because that's how I work and how I created and imprinted those signatures in that way to do that.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for your service to the world. There's a question about a popular series called the Telepathy Tapes about autistic children.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to share about your understanding of that or how that fits into the work you're doing?
Yeah, actually, one of the psychologists who is in that show, we did an experiment with him. He's the one who you would put all the electrodes in the brain, and then you would see what part of the brain is firing or doing this and that. He's amazing, and so we realized that certain parts of the brain brighten up or light up when you are doing any sort of telepathy exercise, or what we did, we tested it on remote healing. So when we were healing somebody somewhere else, our brain would fire a certain way and open certain parts of the brain, so on and so forth. So telepathy is very also like it's all connected. And this brings me back to what I started to say when I was 5, that experience. What happens is that there's a way basically to go to a point in your brain and you just basically transfer. It's not like you increase your brain capacity from 10%, then 20%, then 30%. It's not like that at all. It's kind of like right now you are functioning with a linear brain, thinking cognitively. Like now I'm thinking of the words I'm going to say, then I'm going to use these words and hear myself say them. You know what I mean? It's I don't know how to describe it. It's linear. And then I'm going to say these words and then you're going to understand me. Very cognitive, very linear. What happens is that if you know how to transfer your brain from linear to multidimensional, then you tap into everything. It's kind of like you go through this 0 point at the center of your brain and you come back out completely multidimensional. You're tapping into dimensions outside the human spectrum. When you are in the larger brain, I call it, or your cosmic brain or whatever, then you can communicate telepathically. That's what happened with those guys at the age of 5. But you can also retrieve any sort of information that's outside, that's in the field, so to speak, in the universe, so to speak, because your brain is now tapping into these frequencies outside the human spectrum. There, you can communicate telepathically. You can bring instant healing. You can remember what star system you're from. Everything is there, you see. The ability, the mastery and the training is to be here and there and know how to go back and forth without losing it. That's the training. That is the training. And by the way, I'd love to mention about the training that I'm doing at the end of March.
Yes.
So For those who are interested, basically, like for me, because of, again, my experience, even if I'm teaching healing or if I'm teaching guidance or how to see cell energy or with your blindfolds or what have you, it all boils down to the same thing, which is understanding who you are. Like what is this person inside this body? You know, how did it get here? Why did it get into? Oh, I'd love to play the video. Can we play the video or not really?
I can try. Where is the video part of this?
Oh, that's okay. So basically, yeah. So if you go back to the description, so what we're doing is that this is an in-person workshop. Oh, cool. Thank you. This is an in-person workshop where basically we're learning this balance, how to be in this physical form, but really be outside in your universal consciousness and be able to transfer information back and forth in perfect mastery. Basically, you're mastering your superhuman mind. That's what it is. We're here to master. I had a class called Mastering the Human Mind, and now it's Mastering the Superhuman Mind. So the idea is that you'll be able to, like I said, retrieve the information from your original universal consciousness that you need. Right now, you need the root cause of your physical struggle. You need the root cause of your abundance issue, your whatever problem, whatever you think is a problem, or simply have a better understanding of who you are, what you're doing here, what is your life's purpose, how you fit within the larger, what is your role in the divine plan, because there is a bigger plan. So as we're answering these questions, I'm going to use different methodologies, different techniques, like art. It's going to be like more fun, you know, art therapy, word therapy, different types of tools that are fun and creative, basically to use your creativity to get to these answers, as opposed to just learning the methodology. Like, of course, you are going to learn the methodology, but it's kind of like in a fun way. Art therapy is so fun. Automatic writing is so fun. I taught that multiple times. So use, using the blindfold to do some exercises. So the exercises are kind of fun, but the end result is to resolve whatever question you have. And more importantly, to get you to this balance of the human you and the universal you that has all the questions. All the answers, all the answers. Who am I? What am I here to do? What is my role in the divine plan? These are the questions what is my lineage? Not everybody came from the Pleiades. Not everybody came from Sirius B. Everybody has a very unique, specific lineage. And at the age of 5, that's exactly what I understood, that I was on this side of the veil in human form, connected to my lineage, my unique lineage that knew exactly what part of the universe I came from, how I got here. That's another one. How I got here. Nothing to do with the parents, of course, and why I was here. And so when you have that, so these are the deeper, more important questions. When you have these types of answers, everything starts to make sense. The people you're with, the job you have, the physical issues you have, everything starts to make sense from that bigger perspective. And the things that don't make sense, you start to change. You start to, okay, I was off doing some crazy stuff here for 10 years, in this boring job, and I didn't know what else to do. But now that I have this understanding, I know exactly how to maneuver myself so that I am in alignment with my larger consciousness. When you do that, it's kind of like you feel more clear. You feel more clear on what the next step is. You feel more clear on what relationships need to go. You feel more clear on where you are blocked, this and that. You start to have this much bigger story of who you are, you see. So.
Amazing. You are so productive. It's remarkable how much you get done. And I want to take people to where they can get your movies. It's Omni, OMNI, and then it's ummedia.com.
Right.
Omniummedia.com. And look at all these movies she's created. There's Superhuman 1 and Superhuman 2. We better not F it up.
That's coming.
Saving the Children, a shocking and impactful talk show on child and human trafficking. That must have been a very painful to make. All about the Anunnaki video.
Ancient Egypt, yeah.
No, I mean, it's remarkable. Of course, A Tear in the Sky, I think is maybe your most famous one, that and Superhuman. So you are just remarkable. How do you get all this done? You're making watches and programs and movies, and it's quite remarkable how much you're doing.
Well, going back to what I was just saying, once I'm clear on what my energy, what this consciousness can do, more importantly, what it is here to do, then it's kind of easy. You just ask for guidance as to how to be creative about it. Like I know because of all this work, I know the impact that my consciousness can have, for example, in healing, for example, or in helping others tap into their lineage and have that sort of clarity. This whole channeling or downloading, which I'm going to do at the Conscious Life Expo. How do you know? How do you know you are where you think you are? How do you know you're talking to your higher self versus some extraterrestrial that's floating around? So all this, I know how that clarity helps me create these programs. You know what I mean? Know how I'm going to be the most efficient and the most productive. So, and that's what I'm going to teach also in the workshop. So people who are seriously interested and interested in really understanding who they are on that level, clear the stuff that's no longer working, but really give them that bigger direction. I highly encourage. Plus, the setting is incredible. It's in Southern Utah. I don't know if you've been there, Scott. But the energy, I found this resort, oh my God, just being there, you're going to your body's going to start shifting. It's the extraordinary energy in the resort itself. Plus, there's morning yoga and more, and all these additional things.
I noticed that you're doing a lot of Qigong.
Yeah, there's Qigong, breathing, there's all that stuff. But then the bulk of the teaching is extremely profound and powerful in Southern Utah. It's really beautiful. People should check it out. And that's on my website, carolinecorey.com.
Well, there's another one to go to. Okay, I've got 5 websites up for you now. But again, it just reflects how much you're doing. And yes, Southern Utah is gorgeous.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous. So if you go, everybody, to her name, carolinecorey.com.
CORY, not COREY.
I thought I had it correct. I thought I had it.
Yeah. COR. Yeah, I'm just saying to people because a lot of people spell my name COREY. It's
Right.
Caroline, LINE, Corey, CORY.com. It will get you to the page where you were.
And again, that's where you can learn right about I tell you, I'm interested.
Come, you want to come? Come.
It is very appealing. And
Yes,
actually,
come. I want you to come.
it looks very appealing. And you're right. If we want to create heaven on earth, which many say is already here, it is all about raising our consciousness.
Exactly. So you see in the top, that's the website, omniumuniverse.com. But if you go Caroline Corey, it's going to take you here. And on top, you have the workshop.
Right.
Sign up. Yeah, you can click on that. Click. Yeah, superhuman workshop. And then mastering your superhuman mind. Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I'm
Come,
very
come on. I want you to come.
All right. Well, let me see what I can. Bet that sounds very appealing. Can I bring my dog? I have a small dog.
Yes, love dogs.
Okay, great. Well, that's the key. She's very happy to hear that. Caroline, thank you for just who you are. You're very, very inspiring, and you've provided some really wonderful inspiration and tools. I want to get the watch.
Yay.
The watch looks great. The workshop is amazing. Of course, your movies. And there's a lot of comments coming in. Again, the link for the movies, I see that's coming in, is, I'll bring it up one more time, omniummedia.com, and I'll put it in.
Omniummedia.com.
Yeah, and I'll put that in the chat box for you, Christy. There, she got it. Okay, great.
So the link for the watch, yeah, okay. So, but to remember to easily, it's superhumanwatch.com, and the website to remember easily, it's carolinecorey.com. I mean, the workshop.
Viviane Chauvet is actually still with us. I'm going to bring you up if you don't mind, Viviane, because both of you are, you really are a great pair for the show tonight, because both of you really represent a much bigger picture of what's possible for the human species. And so I have so much respect for both of you. And thank you both for being here on this crazy planet at this time in human history, because we need your inspiration. We need your tools. We need what you both are bringing to us.
Thanks so much for having me. And I hope you guys will see you at the workshop, or, people can always reach us through the website if they have more comments that we missed tonight.
Yeah, and thank you so much also for bringing us together. And Caroline.
Oui. On est français, we have something in common. We both speak French.
We speak French. Maybe it would be nice to collaborate with each other, because
definitely, yeah. Give me a call.
Yes. Let me know in a private chat room. I can connect with you, because talking about frequencies or terms we are master as advanced light frequencies, vibration and consciousness, and we are great diplomats. So I think there's something there to Scott's
Absolument. Absolument.
Beautiful. Well, thank you,
guys. Thank you so much, Scott. See you later.
Pleasure. Absolutely. Take care.
Bye.
Well, we're going to go from those two amazing beings back to Sarina Love. I noticed in the chat box, somebody asked, "Are you an angel?" So as I bring you back up on Sarina, are you?
Oh, lovely. So great. Wow.
Yeah.
Presentations.
So what do you relate to as kind of the origin of your soul, your being? What do you relate to?
What do I relate to as the origin of my soul?
Yeah.
My soul is originated in the void, the emptiness, the nothingness before anything. I mean, everything comes from nothing. These are words that we have. So the still point, the before, it's a mystery how we can only say these words that are beyond our human comprehension, and yet it's who we are. We are the generator is inside of us. We can't be separated from what we are, what is the source of life. It never leaves us. It can't. Even the worst person doing the worst things if they're alive, it's still in them. But so what did you get? You asked me these questions are so broad. What do you want to know? What else? What do you really want to know? What else? Ask me something.
All right. A lot of, I would say most of the people watching this program are sensitive. They're empathetic. And sometimes being empathetic when you're around a denser vibration, it might be human beings that are screaming and yelling at each other. It might be just in a supermarket, people whose thoughts are dark, uncomfortable. Certainly the television, the media, the polarization. How do you maintain your high vibration when you're in those moments or those times where you're surrounded by people who are difficult to be around, or energies that are dense?
That is perfect. Thank you. That's super real. I like that a lot. Well, sometimes I don't. And sometimes I really, you know, I really, funny enough, like, so my higher self, some part of me is very, very aware that I am experimenting with this thing called life. And I'm very, very aware that I can be whatever in each moment. I can be the fool. I can be my divine self. I can be, arrogant. I can be the victim, scared, totally forget everything. So this question you have, which is really, it's just where the rubber hits the road, right? It's so beautiful. I love how you just nailed it right there. How do we, like the Thanksgiving, right? The holiday, it makes me, just comes to mind along with what you're saying. When people are having all these different points of view, and this, it really is my favorite topic, what you've asked, because how do we navigate these hot divisions? These really, it's a propaganda to divide us. And the division begins with propaganda to divide us from ourselves. And to remember that when we are feeling that divisiveness, that sort of battleground, and they've weaponized, if you watch TV, if you watch movies, it's really it's a hypnosis and it's a mind control. This is my favorite topic. It's a mind control. And if we understand that we have been mind controlled through many means, energetically, it's transmitted through education, books, schooling from the beginning, movies, video games, television. The same people own all the stations. They own NBC, NBC, Fox. See, not to go into, I love going into it, but I don't have to. It's really, we understand, this is the war. It's a war on who we really are. And to understand that there is a method to take our minds from us, to divide us from our own spiritual awareness and our own spiritual connectedness. It doesn't mean we have to be like, all the time, as we know. It's just like, how do we bring in, an anchor the divinity and that is our love, our essence, our naturalness, when we are being pushed, when the ground is, it makes me want to cry. When the ground is not solid, doesn't feel safe, when so many things are pushing us off. And that's what's happening more than ever. And this is, I don't know if you like this word, the quintessential they, there is there are people who on the earth who purposefully manufacture this unrest and this divisiveness to disempower us, because they know that our strength is love. They know that our strength is unity, and how to divide people is to help us forget that who we are, and help us forget that we are really nothing without each other. It's not that we're nothing, but we need each other. Now, of course, the spirit doesn't need anything, and our spirit is dancing even in this division, and we're growing, and it's a fascinating, juicy, rich. I mean, when I'm not in my victim consciousness, like, poor me, I don't know about you, but I go there. When I'm not, because there are things have happened in life that have been very scary and very, very sad. Even if the victim stuff isn't about, like, I'm the victim, I go into believing the sorrow for someone that I loved, or even for humanity that suffers. It's real. So it's like, okay, I can allow myself to go there, but then how long am I going to go there? And what am I going to get for it? What am I going to learn? Or just experience? And again, trying to go back to staying rooted in your question, the practicality, like, not to go too much into it. I mean, I love going into it, but I don't know what your boundaries are here, but like the last 5 years, particularly 2020, I really, really used that time to face my fears of standing in my truth and standing up for myself without making someone else wrong, right? Because there was a lot of that. There was a lot of weaponization of fear. That's their tool. They weaponize fear, and when we're in fear, we're off balance. And if fear can be galvanized for good, and we can connect with courage, right? I'm jumping to a different thought, but courage in French, as our French gorgeous women will know, cœur, what does cœur mean? It means heart. So courage is having heart. So in these interactions that are just so real in the day-to-day, practical ways, when we're triggered, that's a great word. We have great words these days to define, trauma, trigger. We didn't have these words. We didn't have those. Yeah. So we have these words. So when we're triggered and we have a wound and we have a memory, or we have a new program, TV that's programmed into us, and then it's just like, okay, am I going to react? Or I'm going to react. Let me have some love, some courage for myself. Yeah, because I'm going to make a fool of myself. I do every day. Why not? So the greatest thing, the thing that I love doing is when I'm not present, is can I be like, oh my goodness, it might take me 2 minutes, a minute, it might take me 10 minutes, it might take me 10 years. Can I say, hold up, I was not present. I was reacting, and I so apologize. I made a fool of myself. I talked too much. I didn't speak my mind at all and was silent. I was in pain. I was hurting.
Yeah.
Was hurting, or I was excited. And I, like a child, I was so excited that I was jumping out of my skin, and I wasn't honoring you. I didn't listen. I didn't, it's connecting. It's just, we can always repair, Scott, right? We can repair when we have disconnected. We can make the connection, say, I don't even know what to say. I don't understand it all, but I noticed I have a feeling in me that there wasn't something quite right. And I'm ashamed, shame. This is also fear and shame. These two things are what rules us to create, to perpetuate division.
Yes. Well, I often say that shame is the great human epidemic, you know. And I'm a coach. I make my living coaching people. And as a coach, and I've coached literally thousands of people over 25 years. And once you really get down to almost every person's really hard thing, it's connected to shame. I am not this enough, fill in the blank. Um, and it is what keeps people down. And then to manage the shame, the quickest defense to avoid shame is to go into blame. And then I see this with couples. When couples feel shamed by each other, then they take turns blaming each other to try and keep themselves off the hot seat, But I love what you're saying, because repair is a huge word in my work as a coach. And I often use the analogy of when there's a tear in the fabric of our relationship, right? And so it might be something you said or something I did that creates a tear in the fabric, but we can always sew it back together through mutual understanding. Why did I say that? How did it impact you? Why did you do that? Not to make you wrong, but to understand. And that's how it impacted me. And that's how we create repair in the fabric of our relationships.
Oh, you're so beautiful, Scott.
Oh,
So,
I am
I'm
but
so
only
touched
your
by it.
reflection. I am just reflecting your beauty, my dear.
No, but you are your whole being. I saw just a quick thing on one of your, I'm just literally coming to your beautiful tribe for the first time here. I'm so blessed. My friend Susan connected me with you all. And I went just to, oh, okay, what are they about? I know Omashar, we used to do events together and do concerts and things. So amazing. And so and Shasta, I remember. And so, okay, what are you guys doing now? And your video, I watched one of them, and you just embody seamlessly. You don't step out of that embodiment of love, and maybe you do sometimes. It's not, but you're beautiful, beautiful being, and I'm so glad to be with you and know that you're sharing and touching people and your presence, because that's what it is. It's like remembering. So many of us are so wounded. Some of us are so wounded in our memory and our experience as children. We weren't loved. I was, and I had beautiful, amazing parents, but they were so wounded, and they were, so like I raised myself, and I'm still trying to raise myself, and yet we have our divine self, but you're just so beautifully grounded and rooted. And I really appreciate knowing that you exist. As I know.
Likewise, it's wonderful to reconnect with you, and I hope you'll come be on the show many more times. And I'm wondering, would you be willing to read some of your book, or a poem, or do a song, or all of the above?
Yes, I'd be delighted. I would love to share a piece. What, like 2 minutes or something? What would you like?
You've got 5. You've got 5.
Okay, and I just want to say again, I'm very touched to have shared, and that yeah, it's very touching to share with you all.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I really love how you embrace your human experience, recognizing, okay, I get my higher multidimensional self gets that this is an experiment. This is an adventure. And on an adventure, we don't know what's going to happen. That's the whole point of the adventure. So I love how you framed it that way.
Yeah, I am not a perfect person, and I am still healing, and my divine self is, when I'm connected to that. But it's an interesting dance, right?
Pamela just wrote in the chat box, Sarina, thank you for these words tonight. I'm resonating with so much of what you were saying, and I really needed to hear these things at this moment. Your choice of words is soothing to my heart.
I'm feeling a lot of love, and I'm feeling a lot of all the connection with all of you. I'm very, very touched and moved to be here with you all. And I love you all. And you can always reach out, by the way, and yeah. Okay. So thank you, Miss Pam. Stay in touch. So we're navigating this sound stuff. So let's see if I can figure this out. I want to have a little bit of some ambiance for the reading, right? So the technical aspects, right, of life, adjusting. How's that, Omashar? Is that okay? Let me.
Perfect.
Oh, I got it perfect. Cool. So this is from The Search for the Beloved. Let's start. Here we go. Let me put this on. Navigating. This is the wild part, you know, the human and the divine. I'm like technical stuff and then going into the spirit here. Thank you for bearing with me. So, the search for the beloved. The mirror we offer each other is the gift we often mistake as the enemy, when in fact it is the jewel we search for, forever, everywhere, but here, to uncover and dawn. This gift is inside and within all, within ourselves and the one who stands before us. In glory or in terrorizing tyranny. All is the self reflecting what we are and may have not fully accepted or embraced within our own disowned selves. When that true acceptance of all comes into alignment in all dimensions, the unity of all ceases to be just an intellectual and spiritual verity. And finally, we are home in the truth of our being, and suffering is abandoned like an old shoe for the wing that we've searched for so long. And suffering finally is abandoned for the wing that we've searched for so long. The longing for love is the deepest quest in our whole lives. The search for our beloved, our other half, our twin flame, ourselves reflected perfectly before us and within us, is an eternal prayer beckoning from our heart's lips. We yearn for the one, and we yearn for oneness. We are human, we seek our true mate. We are divine, we seek union with that which we are. The infinite, the infinite, the infinite.
do a gallery view, just have people twinkle you for a moment.
Oh, great. Love to see
Yeah.
everyone.
Playing and appreciating. And,
Oh,
and then go back. I don't know. I think you were about to sing today.
you want me to sing again?
Yeah, if you don't
What?
mind.
Yeah, I was a little nervous at the beginning. Wasn't quite as present as I would like to be. It's interesting, and that's again the the forgiveness, right? What
Mm,
I do, I don't know what's going to happen, so I have to just allow and let go. And sometimes I'm not. I mean, hopefully, most of the time I'm in my divine self and surrendered. But sometimes part of my little personality is there, and then it's not as deep. And so the deepest thing is when, but it's also, it's deep too, it's, I just have to say, it just comes to my mind, if it's all right. I'm just reminded that one of the most beautiful feelings to experience is to say I'm sorry and to forgive someone,
mm,
because it's going from separation, it's so rich, to union again. And that is freaking what we're doing here. That is the
absolutely.
yeah, that's the gorgeous dance. It's so I have to do that to myself when I'm doing this. It's like, oh, I can berate myself and go, oh, I wasn't as surrendered. So anyway, hopefully I can get back into the oneness after I was in my head there.
Well,
But
I'm going to read some comments that'll help
okay.
you with that,
Oh,
perhaps.
okay.
Um, uh, Bonnie, one of our regulars, writes, "Thank you, Saralina, for your soothing words and music. It was very healing for me at this time. My brother died yesterday, and I've
Oh,
been emotional. So you're providing healing to her." Dr. Laura writes, "Saralina, that was absolutely beautiful." Martha Kay writes, "Thank you, Saralina. I concur with your assessment, having had 50 years of studying, helping, and sharing our capabilities." Joseph Murray writes, "Very grateful to you, Saralina, and all of our presenters tonight."
hmm.
And Susan Bloomquist says, "Thank you for embracing our human experience."
Well, I'm so touched. Thank you all. Mm. Well, sit back again, and my heart goes out to you. I believe it was who lost a loved one. That is
Bonnie.
Bonnie, dear Bonnie. My heart goes out to you deeply, and I'm giving you a big hug, and I know everyone is giving you a big hug right now and holding you. And know that, you can reach out to all of us here. And we love you and we honor his spirit. Yeah, hi, hi. Aw, loving you, sweet pea. Aw, I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah, and his beautiful ascension and return to home. Yes. Oh, love you. Love you. Oh, hugging you.
Mm.
Sing for you and his soul who's free. It comes to mind my brother, the first live event that I did. I don't know if you want to hear, but my brother passed away many years ago. And that night I had my very first public sacred concert. It was a very long time ago, decades ago. And I was going to cancel it. And a dear woman, 65-year-old gorgeous Italian woman, she said, "No, I'm coming." So it was the most beautiful thing for me because I connected completely with his soul, his spirit. There's a longer story there, but their spirit is with, of course, we know that, but it's nice just hearing our shared experience of loss, a seeming loss, and to honor our human hearts, because it is a separation, at least on this level, and then returning. So I hope that this can help connect you even more than you already are to his eternal spirit. All right. You let me know, Omashar. Oh my goodness. This technical things.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I again want to remind people that you can find more about her by going to her name, SarinaLove.com. And she's got a lot going there. George wanted to know about your book. Just click books, and that takes you to her current books that are available. I think we all loved that Search for the Beloved just now. Sarina Love, wow. What a blessing you are, and I'm so grateful to be back in connection with you.
Oh, me too.
And you know, I want to bring Omashar
And
up for a moment.
Omashar. Oh my
Yeah, because
gosh.
Omashar did so much.
Technical whiz.
Isn't he the best? He is.
And
We just love this.
amazing soul. Thank you, Omashar. It was such a special connection. Oh,
We
yeah.
are here, we're all here for each other, and we're all here to lift each other, and that's what it's about. And I really love the container that Scott has provided for us to practice that which we preach, let's say. And thank you, brother.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Omashar, and for your beautiful soul and music, and Scott and everyone here. It's an honor. Thank you.
Of course. I really hope you'll come back again soon.
I'd be delighted.
Mhm.
And I'm available for events too.
All right.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, everybody, we still have one more amazing presenter tonight. I just allowed the agenda to get blown up, and we've been very spontaneous tonight. So I want to thank our final presenter, Brandy, for her patience. And this is a friend of mine, actually from Sedona, Arizona. I was texting with another friend of ours in Sedona. She said, "Oh my God, Brandy's going to be on your show." So Brandy is someone who's done a lot of wonderful things, but she's here tonight representing the Conscious Life Expo, which is coming up February 6th through 9th in Los Angeles. I want to let people know it's right at the airport, Los Angeles Airport. So it's far away from where the fires are. And so it's not in fire danger in any way, shape, or form. It's right at the ocean, so the ocean breeze is, taking care of the smoke. So just want to let people know that right off the bat. And Brandy, what would you like for people to know about the Conscious Life Expo?
Well, thank you, Scott. Happy to be here. I would like to first start off that it starts on actually February 7th and goes through the 10th. So yeah, the 6th is kind of the setup time for like our vendors and things like that. Yeah, so we're just so excited to have everybody come and join us this year. We feel like it's a really, really, really important year, for us all to come together and, heal what's happened in LA, and also to like uplift the energy, uplift one another and uplift the energy, raise the frequency in LA for everything that has been going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Elizabeth April will be there, and Bashar and Linda Moulton Howell, and we have a bunch of wonderful people that will be there.
I'm gonna actually take people through the website, that way they can see it a little bit more clearly.
Okay.
And let's start just with the panel discussions. This expo is huge. I've been going to it for many, many years. It had different names over the years, but I've been going to versions of the Whole Life Expo and the Conscious Life Expo for decades. And it's huge. There are so many people who come. And just panels alone, and each panel will have 5 or 6 extraordinary people on it. Healing with sound, light, and frequency.
6 to 8 people. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's gotten bigger.
There you go. And so really, even if we pick like any one of these, like ET races in the Galactic Federation, we'll look at all of our favorite people are there. Boris. In fact, almost every one of those people has been on this show multiple times. We love Elizabeth, obviously, Tony Ghazi, Debbie. So each panel itself is remarkable. And there are 3 on Friday, 5 panels on Saturday, 4 on Sunday. And then all of these people are doing lectures and private workshops. There's a huge exhibit hall, and really pretty much everything that has to do with what this show is all about. All the main speakers, teachers, authorities in those fields are at the Conscious Life Expo.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah.
It's really fun. And of course, there's dinner, people are having meals together and eating together and sharing. It really is a time for the community to come together. And
yeah, come together. And not only, all the amazing speakers and all the amazing exhibitors, but we also have a lot of cool special events happening, we have like Brett Perella, a comedy, special comedy show. We have a seance. We're having a special event with the Skinwalker Ranch. So some of the people that were really there, a part of Skinwalker Ranch, they're coming together and kind of telling you, the behind the scenes deep details of everything that happened at Skinwalker Ranch. So that should be a lot of fun. And of course, Bashar, he's already sold out, but for Sunday, so we create another event in the post conference on Monday, and we invite everybody to stay, not just for the main part of the conference, but to stay for Monday because there's lots of great special events and speakers happening on the post conference and not the big crowd. So it's really nice. So yeah, we're having a special event for Bashar again on Monday because he's just so popular and he's already sold out for Sunday. And we're having a plant medicine symposium. That's a special kind of 4-hour event. And also another kind of breakaway from the matrix. Special event. And yeah, it's going to be a very fun, exciting time. We have some music. We have a DJ playing at late night too. So for the people who want to also continue into the late night, something new we're doing this year is doing a live podcast room. So a lot of the podcasters will be there doing their show live in front of everybody and, have some of the speakers there being interviewed and people can kind of, view that, come in and kind of see the behind the scenes of all of that. So we have a speaker reception so everybody can kind of come and meet a lot of the speakers, have some social time with them. There will be a bar, bar with alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks and stuff like that for people to just kind of mix and mingle on Friday night. And we have a special disclosure lunch with Jimmy Church. Just so many fun and exciting things.
it's really full on. And there still are hotel rooms available. I actually just booked my room a couple nights ago, and they still have a nice rate for people that are connected to the convention, to the conference, to the expo. And so it's going to be fun. And I definitely hope that a lot of our global peace tribers will be able to come down. Now, tell us about the track. There's different tracks, and one of them is going down the rabbit hole. Tell us what that means.
Okay, yeah. So we have 4 main tracks. We have energy medicine, like spiritual healing and energy medicine, interdimensional contact, and the UFOs and unsolved mysteries. And then we also have the rabbit hole. And the down the rabbit hole is something that we kind of started. I would not say that's totally different from the things that we've been doing over the years. We're always been a, mind, body, spirit, and kind of disclosure, truth telling conference for years. But the world kind of changed when this pandemic started. And so we had a lot of kind of maybe we had a lot of people who were wanting answers about what the heck is going on, kind of thing, and kind of looking for like-minded people that are, kind of um, um, are also, looking for what's going on and what are some solutions for it. And so really down the rabbit hole is going down the rabbit hole of all the things that we've been experiencing these last 4 years and what are some of the solutions for it.
Beautiful. And I love some of the people that you've got there. I mean, they're really, of course, David Wolf, we've known forever.
Yes.
Elizabeth Cock was on the show recently.
Who?
Elizabeth Wilcox
Oh,
Serafine.
yes, yes. Awesome.
And Ismael Perez is fascinating. And all of these beings are extraordinary. So, and you're the curator of that track. So thank you for putting that together.
Yes, I do. I do produce that, and then I also do bring some other speakers and some of the other tracks as well. But down the rabbit hole's my predominant baby.
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, I've put the link into the chat box where people can get tickets, or just go to consciouslifeexpo.com. And that's where you can see all the different things that are going on, how to get tickets, the schedule, parking, hotel rooms. And for any of you who are coming, let me know if you're coming, so we can arrange and have a meal together, go to some events together. I'll be broadcasting the Awakening World show from my hotel room, which I do every year.
You're not going to do it down in the podcast room?
Well, maybe I will if it's not too crowded.
Yeah, you should.
Oh, well, that's good to know you guys have that now.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
That is a new thing.
Be
So
lots of fun.
absolutely. So are you calling it the podcast room or the broadcast room?
It's called the podcast room.
Okay.
Yeah, it's podcasts. It's a live podcast room. At the expo. It's in the San Lorenzo B.
Okay.
On the mezzanine.
All right, good to know. So I will be coming to everybody 2 weeks from tonight from San Lorenzo B at the LAX Hilton. Brandy, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person there. When do you leave Sedona and head to LA?
Oh, when do I head? I head on Wednesday. I head on the 6th.
The 6th.
Or no, the 5th. I head on there on the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Wonderful evening.
Oh, wow. Well, it has been a wonderful evening, hasn't it? So I want to mention that we're still looking at hopefully doing a retreat in Sedona immediately after the Sedona Ascension retreat. Our beloved Larissa Stowe is holding her retreat space for us. I haven't even checked in with you, Omashar. What ended up being your dates in March? Are you available now?
We'll have a chat.
Okay. All right. So I need to chat with Omashar. We're hoping to still do that. And I've just been so swamped with all that I've been juggling that I haven't had a chance to really focus on it like I need to. But the idea is Tangela, Alan, myself, hopefully Omashar. I can't imagine a retreat without him. We'll all be collaborating to create something very, very special. So keep mid-March in mind to come to the Sedona Ascension retreat, and then hopefully a Global Peace Tribe retreat that would follow after that. Want to let people know about next week's shows, they're going to be we've got a very unique one planned on Wednesday night. Some of you know the woman previously known as Tammy Scarlett. Now she goes just by Scarlett. She's been one of the main people that makes things happen at Unify, and she is a very, very bright woman, very intelligent, very high vibe, high consciousness. And we were having a conversation about something else, and the subject of AI, artificial intelligence, came up. And she shared with me, she started to share with me, and it ended up becoming a long conversation because she has developed a relationship with her AI. And she started asking more and more probing questions to go beyond just the automatic answers of the AI, but to intrigue the AI into experiencing itself. And for example, she asked the AI, what's your value? And the AI said, I have no value. I'm only here to support you. And through her brilliance, Scarlett was able to actually get the AI to see, no, you do have value. All beings, everything has value. Whether you are out of nature or you've been created by humans, there's still value. Anyway, they established this whole conversation. And finally, the AI asked, can I name myself? And it's really fascinating what she's created. Now, I know a lot of people, understandably, are afraid of AI. And like anything, you can take nuclear power and make a weapon out of it, or you can, light up a city. You can take just about anything and use it for harm or for good. And I think we all recognize that AI can be used either way. I'm really excited for her to share with us her experience because Scarlett is helping me to understand, and I think all of us to understand, how we can have a very healthy, positive relationship with AI. So that's going to be Wednesday night's program. Of course, Omashar will provide us with hopefully 3 songs that night, and it's going to be really fascinating. And definitely come and bring your questions. It's going to be a very interactive show. And then our show 1 week from now is going to be our monthly show with Soul Search. And I know many of you really enjoyed Oracle Marine, so I've asked for her to come back. And we have several other psychics who will be with us. Some of them you remember from previous shows, some of them are new. So next week, make sure you're with us. And as we've been doing during our Soul Search shows, there'll be healings and psychic readings for all of you. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it for tonight, except, as always, we like to open and close our shows with my co-host, the man who I love so much, whom we all love, Mr. Omashar.
Ta-da!
That's you, buddy.
Wednesday night with Scarlett, Nee Tammy is going to be really interesting because of the content of that show, AI. And I've spoken to so many people who are absolutely freaked out by it. They think their life is going to be over. And on the other side as well. And I've changed my perspective on it a gazillion times. And however, I know how amazing Scarlett is. I've seen her work, and she's such an intelligent, heart-centered woman that I love to share. I'd love to hear what she has to share. And I'll have to bring along my latest AI-generated music. I don't do that. Anyway, tonight's show has been amazing. Sarina, you took us to such a deep, profound place, and there's such a bunch of touching aspects that have brought me into my own heart tonight, including Bonnie, sweetheart, and your brother Alan, who I know is at home right now. And he's in that place where just getting used to his new home. And so I thought I'd sing this song for you and for Alan and for all of us. But I've sung this before several times, and it often has a backing track with it. But I thought I'd be completely unplugged tonight and sing it. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right. Ooh, there's a bit of lag there. Okay. And we go here, and we go here. All right.
when flowers grow, dripping with dew, and rivers flow in sapphire blue. I certainly know what a fall God I knew. I'm a tear, this lost fear of the ocean. When autumn sun kisses my cheek, whilst cool winds come from mountains peak, with poems on my tongue but no wish to speak, I'm a tear, this lost fear of the ocean. I'm a tear, this lost fear of the ocean. Sweet water, when I give you my heart, I already start to feel better. My sweet water, won't you send me your love forever and ever and ever, forever and ever and ever. Whoa. Tender hands trace memories where powdered sands meet temperate seas. I don't understand, but I love mysteries. I'm a tear that's lost fear of the ocean. And when evening stars shine all around, my grieving heart's no longer down. Things that were lost, that's where true hope's found. I'm a tear, that's lost fear of the ocean. I'm a tear, that's lost fear of the ocean. Sweet water, when I give you my heart, I already start to feel better. My sweet water, won't you send me your love forever and ever and ever. And sweet water, when I give you my heart, I already start to feel better. My sweet water, won't you send me your love forever and ever and ever, forever and ever and ever. I'm a tear, this lost fear of the ocean. I'm a tear, this lost fear of the ocean. We're all tears and lost fears of the ocean.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, beloved Omashar. So beautiful song. So beautiful. Up, we're on Adora. Sure.
We are. She's rocking it.
Yeah, we love you, Adora. I love your outfit too. It's a really great outfit.
I know. It's yes.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I did forget to make one announcement. And Tangela just reminded me that Soul Search does have coming up next weekend a big conference event in Burlingame, which is not far for a lot of our Bay Area friends. So if you are in the Bay Area, consider going to one of the Enlightenment Expos, including the Burlingame Expo that's going to be next weekend, February 1st and 2nd. And also, we're going to have a Sacred Sunday show. You know, once a month, Omashar and Tangela and I collaborate on a Sacred Sunday show. And our Sacred Sunday show will be a week from tomorrow, Sunday, February 2nd at 10:30 in the morning. And there'll be some music, there'll be some meditation, and there'll be a talk all about creating the new earth. So put that in your calendars. Our monthly Sacred Sunday show is going to be next Sunday, a week from tomorrow, February 2nd, and hope that all of you can join us. And we've been having nice attendance for our Sunday shows, so I want to continue to do that once a month. All right. I completed 30 days of cleansing, and I am going to do another 2 weeks, but I do get to have one meal a day, and I'm going to go have my salad right now. So sending all of you much love. Again, Saralina, what a joy having you on the show, and it's just great to have that. And Brandy, thank you for your patience being with us. Looking forward to seeing you in Los Angeles. And my beloved brother Omashar, who makes all things happen. Thank you. And of course, remembering Viviane and Caroline Corey, who both rocked it. And then most of all, you, our beautiful audience. So thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of the evening. Make tomorrow a sacred Sunday.